So as Flight Simulator 2024 continues its progression towards becoming a flight simulator, or game, whatever you want to call it, more and more third-party devs have updated and refreshed and brought their aircraft stably into the world of FS 2024. And I feel like now we have enough to where I can comfortably take a look at a few of them. Probably not quite as in-depth as I want to, but I want to get a few of them out here in front of your guys' eyes so you can make informed decisions on which ones work, which ones don't, which ones have good performance, which ones don't, so on and so forth. So, without further ado, let's begin. So before we jump into our different aircraft, I do want to keep the FPS counter going for the entire time, just so we can see what a decent baseline is, and as well what performance hits we do take with the aircraft. First up on our list is a fan, oh my god, is a fan favorite, at least my favorite, the Phoenix A320. This is the IAE variant with, please, performance not doing so hot. The IAE engines with the little sharklets, or sorry, the engine winglets, you can see we're dropping down to 30 as we pan around here. So, not the best for frames initially. Normally my sim runs pretty stable around 60, give or take. From what I can tell, and we're not going to do, like I said before, we're not going to do a full comprehensive aircraft review here. But this aircraft looks and behaves great. You can see the beacon blinking away there. The exterior lighting looks great. Don't know why Asoba changed to the model that they did. This is the lighting that we expect during the day. Twin blinking strobes there, as well as the strobe on the tail fin, just below the EPU. Even in bright sun, you can see it faintly blinking there. If we go to nighttime, things get even better. Oh, hello, frame rate. I mean, look at that light cast. That's what I expect out of FS 2024. This should be the default, and it's pretty true to life for the aircraft as they exist, or existed, I should say, in FS 2020. Whatever their lighting package was then is relatively going to be what it is now. But I mean, you can see we're blinded by those taxi lights and landing lights and the runway turnoffs. The wing lights casting down on the engines there. Don't know where my stairs went, but nonetheless, let's hop back inside, change the time back, just so we can see what we're doing. All of the landing lights do work in their different positions. Same thing with the actually, let's see the beacon on. Same thing with the strobe lights, automatic and manual. Obviously, we just did that. I'll go ahead and start up the number 2 engine. And I'll keep an eye out for heat blur back here. My personal thoughts are, I did preview the Phoenix airplane, or the Phoenix A320 just a little bit, just to see if this was a viable idea. I think that the heat blur in FS 2020 was better, but you'll have to let me know what you think as our IE engine whirs to life. Ooh, that deep rumble. Love that deep rumble. So there is some heat blur. Looking pretty good in the French sunset. You can also see heat blur from the EPU. Now, while I do think that the heat blur looks good, I think it needs work. So let's go to climb power. A little bit of a bug there. It's probably my fault for scrolling too fast. So you can see we've got a little bit faster heat blur. Not what I would expect out of this engine, especially when you get side on. I don't think the velocity matches what it probably would in real life, but it is better even at 20 frames per second. It is better than the defaults. If we go back to idle, watch this heat blur slow down. And the frame rate come back too, funny enough. It's interesting. So while I think it looks good, I don't think it's as good as it used to be. That's the Phoenix. For the most part, it seems everything is working. I think the last thing I want to check is the wiper system. I remember on the OG Phoenix, we had also never run your windshield wipers on a dry windscreen in an airplane, folks. Just my little PSA. Let's go to rain and see if we have the same. Okay, I guess when you select rain, it doesn't rain. Thunderstorm? Okay. Lower pressure. Higher humidity. It's just. Is it just not raining? I can't get it to rain on me. The first, well, we'll come back to the old Phoenix and see if we can get rain effects. But obviously, individually controlled windscreen wipers, they seem to not affect frame rate too badly, which is good. In fact, they're almost helping frame rate. I don't understand how that works. Yeah, it's almost like I'm getting half a frame. We'll call that a coincidence, and let's move on to the next aircraft. Next up on our list is the Blackbird Simulations, formerly Milviz Cessna 310R. Factoid for those of you long-term channel fans of the very first general aviation aircraft I ever did a flight in. Everything is as expected in this aircraft. You still have your nice little EFB here. You can open up all the things, put all the covers on, put in all the passengers. You can see the aircraft squat as you add and remove weight. These passengers do cycle, so as you turn them on and off, just like before, they'll switch around. Still no proven way of getting them to work, or getting them to be selected. Got your fuel, and then you do have your various radio stacks. If you have the GTN add-on as well, you can add those. I have noticed a little bit of stuttering with this aircraft. Sometimes frames will drop to almost single digits, and they'll stay there for a hell of a lot longer than they should, which is not at all. Six-pack. Nice digital gauges. Here's the OG 530. And then the radio, should you so choose it. Your different failures, wear and tear, all that stuff still exists. Oh, excuse me. As well as the aircraft health. Let's take a look at lighting during the day first, and then of course we'll take a look at night as well. I do remember the 310 not having the best lighting. You can hear the motor whirring away as we extend the landing light. It gets a little bit louder when you open your little hamburger window. Let's pop outside. And then you can see we almost take a 10 frame rate drop from low 50s back to mid 40s, so I'm not quite 10, but, and yeah, it looks like it's carryover from, oh, hello, oh, and there's that frame rate drop I was telling you about. There it is. The only solution I know of right now is to pause the sim, let it get back up and stable, and then resume. It works probably... it's a 50-50 shot. Looks like it's not going to work this time. Let's go back in the cockpit. There we go. Back up. And there we go. So again, not the most impressive lighting, but it's still a hell of a lot better than the default Asobo. You know, even from this distance, I can see the strobe light blinking away. If we go to... let's just pop in and out again real quick. If we go to real time, you can see a hell of a lot more cast from those landing lights. Even brighter strobes. That's as bright as they should be. I dig it. You can see the beacon blinking away, and even through our stupid little animated flashlight, those strobes and landing lights are overpowering. A little bit of lighting. Even the nav light's very, very, very bright at night. Inside, things are just as good. I don't know why I turned everything off, but you've got a nice gentle glow from your instruments. Very nice place to be. I think this has overhead lighting as well. It does. Let's check on those. So there you go. There's your red floods. Very, very bright, and several increments in between. As well as, do we have rear cabin lighting? You see it there. Yep, we do. So, A+ on that. Just as good as it was in the OG aircraft. Let's run through a startup. Let's see if I remember how to start up the old 310. Alright, left engine's hot. Ready and clear prop. It's very, very good, especially for the OG 2020 engine sounds. Get the left engine idling at 1,000. Do a start on the right as well. Looks like automatic altimeter setting works on this as well, so none of that helicopter nonsense. Take a quick listen inside and out. Throttle up on the left engine. Go up to about 2,000 or 28 inches of manifold pressure. Sounding very nice. The Cessna 310R. I do also want to point out, we'll look at flight dynamics and that sort of stuff in a different video. I just want to do the basics first, because if the aircraft sucks as far as usability, you're not going to want to fly it. So we'll do a follow-up on the aircraft in this list that do have good flyability in a different video. But for now, that's the Cessna 310R. Let you guys listen through a shutdown here. And crash bars down, fuel pumps off. The Cessna 310R. On to the next aircraft. Next up on our list is the Aerosoft CRJ lineup of aircraft. We have the 700 in front of us. I'm going to make the bold assumption that if the 700 works, the 500 will work, the 1000 will work, the 900 will work. The only real difference is the overall length of the cabin when it comes to these aircraft. So we're just going to look at one today, but I would imagine that all of them are going to work just fine. One other thing to note is with all of these aircraft, because they're 2020 ports, you're not going to have crazy good textures. You know, the textures are from FS2020. Your mileage will vary. Obviously, the Phoenix A320 looked pretty good. It looked good in 2020. The CRJ looked about like this in 2020, so no worse for wear than it was originally. Let's pop outside and we'll take a look at the external lighting. 45 frames. I should also mention I'm doing all of this from the same airport just to the south of Dijon, France, which is a relatively low impact airport. So these are the best chances for frames. External lighting looking good as always. A little bit of a clip through on the wheel well light, but I don't care. It's fine. Super bright. Excuse me. Super bright landing lights, taxi lights, and wing lights. Absolutely blinding us. That's how it should be. Even brighter strobes. Absolutely love it. Bright strobe light on the tail. A little bit dim on the nav, especially with the LOD settings, but can't be 100% perfect. Looks like there's no heat blur coming out of the APU. It's obviously running, as you can hear. The SOV door is open. But no heat blur out of the APU. I don't remember if we had heat blur on the OG aircraft or not. You can see we've got the IFE running inside as well. You can actually see into the cabin, believe it or not. Get up close and personal there. So, if we switch back to daytime, let's see what the lighting looks like during the day, as soon as our camera adjusts. And yeah, this is more than fine. This is, again, Asobo. What are we doing? If you're going to take anything from your third-party devs, take external lighting, because they're doing something that you obviously are not able to. Let's run through a startup on the CRJ. Let's see if I remember how to start up the CRJ actually. So we've got engine start there. Hydro's already on. Bleed source is set to the APU. Cross flow should be a override. I think we're good. Right engine start. Yeah, I know. While we're waiting for the engine and motor up, altimeter auto set does work. Love that, because your ATC does not tell you anything. There's 17%. Let's move into the idle detent. Oh, just did it for us. Cool. Reasonable heat blur. It is coming just a little bit forward from what I can tell from the exhaust. This is all bypass air here, so it should be relatively speaking cool, but I'm definitely willing to forgive that. Let's see if all of the internal... God, that's loud. That's so loud. My God. Loud but functional. I wonder, does the little Skycam still work? Oh, heck yeah, dude. Do we have the funny looking... Maybe it was over here. The funny looking dev guy? No, they replaced it with this one. for this one, I think. There's a older guy there before, but that's fine. Hopping outside again. Let's run through a quick sound profile. Yeah, that's sounding good. Heat blur is a little bit weak, in my opinion. So band's back to full throttle. Watch the heat blur. And I'm guessing that just has to do with the default sim. I don't think it's... I don't think there's anything the devs could do. So, that is the CRJ 700. On to the next aircraft. The next entry on our list is from India Fox Techo. And it was a close race for me between this aircraft and the was it M345, I believe, the trainer jet. But we went with the F-35. It's cooler. I will say both the M345 as well as the F-35 from India Fox Techo are two of my favorite aircraft to fly in this sim, even though you can't employ weapons in the simulator. Still fantastic. Let's hop inside and get rid of these static covers here. There's one and two. And a battery for you. Turn on the ICCs as well. And we should, in a second here, be able to turn on the external lighting. I guess I could use my keybind shortcuts also. Riveting. I wonder if the real F-35 takes this long to initialize. Is this like supposed to be realistic to the jet, or is this just them loading their custom UI when you start up the avionics? I don't know, but while we wait, let's take an additional look at the updated engine. Not too long ago, I revisited this aircraft in the OG Sim to talk about the OG Sim in 2020 to talk about how the devs just keep making this thing better. They keep releasing stuff. One of my biggest complaints was the engine on the original release of this. It's gotten better. It's still not where it should be, but it's definitely better. There's the new sound pack for it as well. It's just overall a very, very good looking aircraft. You've got your little optical sensor there, combined with the AESA, what is it? One, I don't know, it doesn't matter. I don't remember. And because I don't remember, we're still waiting. Okay, well, it didn't take this long. Are you waiting for the engine start? Is that what's going on? Well, we can turn on the landing lights. What I'm waiting for is this little menu up here to appear. And once that menu appears, then I can turn on my main lights. But until that menu exists, I can't. Let's just listen to the engine start. So this idle sound here, to date, is still one of the best sounding engines in the sim, in my humble opinion. In terms of what the real-life aircraft sounds like, I think they nailed it. I think they nailed it. That shallow howl. Sometimes, if they throttle up sharply, you get a little bit of a whistle into the intake. Like that. I don't know if you heard it, but... little howl. Absolutely love it. Can I just turn on the lights, please? Thank you. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. All I wanted. Outside we go. Very nice bright form lights. We took a little bit of a look at the landing light before, but there it is. Good design on the navs. The strobe lights. The strobe lights are a soft spot for me. It seems as though they're not working entirely right now. But previously, let me just give myself 3rd-degree burns here. There we go. Previously, they were a rapid blink, like you would get on a, I don't know, a normal incandescent flash bulb, right? In fact, you can see them flashing now, so they're still doing it, unfortunately. And the way the F-35 is actually designed is you have 2 emitters for green on this side, red on the other, and they'll both briefly change to white. So you have green, like a quarter, maybe an eighth of a second of off, white flash, and then they go back to green. Same thing on the other side. Wow, look at the cast of the lightning light. Doesn't it look good? Wow. I do still wish this was one of my complaints. So you have all of this wash here coming from the landing light. I wish that emitter was just a little bit brighter. A lot brighter, actually. Anyways, that is the F-35. Alpha model. Yeah, one of the strongest contenders. It's fun to fly, it's fun to throw around. I love it. On to the next airplane. Our final aircraft today actually did fly in the French Air Force at one point. It is none other than the C-160 Transall by our friends at Azure Poly, I believe. This is my guilty pleasure airplane that it's not fast, it's not super maneuverable, but damn it, it was so fun to fly in 2020, and I'm so glad that they've done the work to bring it into 24 in a stable platform. Again, your textures are going to suffer a little bit because this is a aircraft textured for 2020, but overall I think everything looks good. We'll do the quickest of walkarounds here. Let you guys soak in a little bit of textures before we hop inside and explore some of, because there's not time to go through all of, but some of the systems, and obviously we're going to do the engine start as well. Aircraft persistence remains on here, so like I have the HUD enabled. I did that once and it's still there. I love that. It will start with wheel chocks and all of your covers in place. You can put your GPU in place, or connect your GPU, and it'll be that little guy there on the stand. Plugs into the real life onboard GPU power. All of your doors and lighting and that sort of stuff works when the appropriate power, either hydraulic or electronic, is applied. Crack open our window there. Let's get power on the old airplane here. Let's see if I remember how to do that. Here comes our very loud buzzing. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, I warned you. So there's that. And we'll connect to ground power. Position and anti-collision lights coming on. We'll start up the EPU. And that should do its thing. We'll hop back outside. We'll take a look at... I didn't turn on any of the lights I wanted to. One moment, please. Formation lights. Taxi, landing, and then wing lights should be in the same spot as before. There we go. So we'll do daytime first since we're in the day. But again, nice bright emitters. It's not that hard, Asobo. Devs have been doing this in your first sim for years. It's not that hard. This is how the aircraft looks during the day. So you even see the beacon from here. And at night, I would imagine, just like with the OG airplane, things get even better. Oh yeah. Big bright landing taxi light absolutely blinding us. We got the wing lights shining aft onto the prop. That's not my flashlight, I promise. And in addition to that, you have the cabin lighting on the inside of the aircraft as well. Love that. Now I will say that with the C-17 existing in the way that it does, it's low bandwidth low. Screw you, dude. Do what you're told. I didn't ask. Didn't ask. But you can see just the amount of different lighting zones that we have, the different things we can light up, and the different ways we can light them up. They're all wonderful. I've got different lighting back here, I believe. Yeah, there it is. Gauge lighting. So, I mean, you name it. You can see the swirl marks from the windscreen there. I got more lighting down here. I don't even know what that does. And we haven't even gotten to the dash lighting, so we can light up our main gauges like so. Line the EVIS just so you guys can see what that looks like. And then we also have our main panel lighting. So we can do a combination of white light, green lights, or my personal favorite, ultraviolet. And you can combine these too. So if you want a little bit of white with your ultraviolet, you can do that. If you want white light with a little bit of green, maybe to soften things up a little bit, turn the white down a bit, you can do that as well. So two completely different color zones in the cockpit. Very nice. Let's run through a startup. We'll see if I remember how to get the old transol started. We got fuel pumps coming online. We'll open up those fuel valves. I think I'm opening too many. I'm pretty sure some of these are oriented for refueling, but that's fine. We're not going anywhere right now. Oh, there's also probe lighting. So on the outside of the aircraft, we've got lights on our air-to-air refueling probes. Those guys on the nose there, very, very bright. Now obviously the formation lights on top, I didn't show those before. So fuel pumps are good. Let's get bleed air from the APU. We'll open our start switch, hit our turboprop pumps. I don't think this is a necessary step, but I like to do it just in case. We'll open up the APU air valve and set the compressor oil pumps to automatic. We already have our electric hydro pumps for the bearings to auto. Go to start and start. Well, that's coming up. Let's take a look at the weather radar. Test is good, standby is good, and there's no weather to show. We have rotation. Let's go ahead and introduce fuel. We'll take a listen from the outside. Still has that kind of choppy probe animation. We'll do that again on the other prop, do a full startup from the outside. Let's conserve some of this external lighting here. Alright, that engine's coming up. Let's turn on our generators on the left side. And we will repeat the process for the left side, doing it fully from the outside this time. Oh, helps if you unguard your switches. Probably should close that door and remove that GPU. But there you go. There's that slow rotation. We'll let the engine motor for a second while I clean up the outside of the airplane. Go ahead and close that car or external door. We'll get rid of the GPU. And I do intentionally have the window open. Or I did have the window intentionally open. Check on the EFBs in a second here. Let's introduce fuel. Back outside. God, that whistle. I love it. Not much in the way for E-Player. You can see a little bit coming down there. Frame rate's taking a hit. I like how it arcs downward a little bit in line with the engine versus just going straight out the back. I imagine that's relatively realistic. I've never seen a C-160 in real life before, but I dig what they have here. So we've got our window open. You can obviously hear the loud whistle of that turbine engine if we close it, or that turbo shaft. The whistle goes away, open again, comes back, close. Your high pitch frequencies go away. Regard the engine. All generators on. Now we'd be good at tax. Let's throw the engines into high idle. And we'll go outside to take a listen to beta. Very fast acting propellers. Looks like the prop vortices do still function. Not the highest fidelity things, but take what I can get. And they fade away as you go back to idle. So that is the top, I shouldn't say top 5, but 5 of my personal favorite functioning aircraft in the sim. What do you guys think? Am I off base? Should I look at something else? Is there something in the sim that you think we should look at? If so, let me know down below. Otherwise, we will we'll cancel that, and maybe we'll look at rotorcraft next. We will be revisiting all of these 5 aircraft to see how their flight characteristics handle. My main goal was to see if stuff worked as far as ground stuff, because if that doesn't work, then this whole thing is pointless, right? Anyway, nonetheless, that is going to do it for this video. I didn't see any alarming drop in frame rate for most of these aircraft. 310 maybe needs a little bit of stability work still, but I'm overall pleased so far. So that is going to do it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, take it easy. I'm walking against a building. Yep. That's embarrassing. Amelia. One of my favorite words to say. It's just Air Force in French, but it sounds fancy. Maybe that's why, because I'm not fancy. I don't know. Oh, my little FPS counter's still up. Let's get rid of that. See, you're seeing up. Alright, that's the end.